Okay, let's get started. Would you like to have been the first person to live on the earth? What would it have been like to live in a beautiful place, walk and talk with God every day, and have all your favorite foods?
That's how it was for Adam and his wife Eve. They lived in a beautiful place called the Garden of Eden. They had the perfect friendship with God and with each other, and they had wonderful foods to eat.
Adam and his wife were the first people to live on the earth. They had everything they needed, but they lost it all. Now use your imagination as we journey back through time to look at the story Adam Hiding from Love. It comes from the Bible, Genesis chapter 2, verse 4, to Genesis chapter 3, verse 24.
My name is Adam, and I'm excited to tell you how God worked in my life. God, the creator of all things, thought of me before the world was made. I was a part of His forever plan.
I created Adam from the dust of the ground. I created him to be my friend.
God put me in the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden had two special trees, the tree of life and the tree of knowing good and evil. I would live forever if I ate fruit from the tree of life, but I would die if I ate fruit from the tree of knowing good and evil. That meant that my body would die one day, and I would lose my perfect friendship with God.
I don't want you to eat this fruit. Do you understand?
You know, God loves me. He let me choose whether to depend upon Him or to depend upon myself. God saw that it was not good for me to be alone. So, God put me into a deep sleep.
I'll take this rib from Adam's body and make a woman. Adam, wake up. Here's your wife.
Wow, she's beautiful. What's her name?
Hi, my name is...
Psst, Adam, give her a name.
I will name her Eve.
My name is Eve.
One day, a serpent came to Eve. This serpent was actually Satan, an enemy of God.
Eve, did God really say that you could not eat from any tree in the garden?
God said that if we eat fruit from the tree of good and evil, we would die.
You surely wouldn't die. That was a lie. You will know good and evil just like God does.
But God never planned for us to know good and evil. He just wanted us to know Him. However, the tree of knowing good and evil looked beautiful to Eve.
Wow, that is the most beautiful tree that I've ever seen. I want to taste good things. I want to be as wise as God is.
Eve ate the fruit and then gave some to me. I ate it too. Right away, we knew we had made a big mistake.
No, don't look at me. I'm scared.
Eating the fruit made us ashamed and afraid. We realized we weren't wearing any clothes, so we covered ourselves with fig leaves. Late in the day, we heard God walking in the garden. We hid, but He knew where we were. He knew everything about us, and He still loved us. He also knew we would choose to depend upon ourselves instead of upon Him, which means to sin. He wanted us to admit our sin to Him. We were afraid, so we made excuses and blamed others.
It's His fault.
It's her fault.
No, it's His fault.
Everything has changed.
Our bodies would die in time and become dust again. The worst of it was that all people would be born with sin in their lives. Sin meant death for all people. Sin made a gap between all people and God. Yet, God promised to make a bridge over the gap.
Here, take these clothes. They are made of animal skins. Now, leave the garden.
He sent us out of the garden. He placed angels and a flaming sword near the tree of life. He wanted to protect us from eating its fruit and living forever. Why? We had sin in us. God did not want us to have sin in us forever. He always loved us.
Wow, that was awesome. Let's thank God for all He has done and for His great love for us. Pray with me these words of praise to Him. God, You thought of me before the world was made. Even when I hide, You know where I am. You know everything about me. Thank You for always loving me.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 8 says, And they heard God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of God.
Oh, oh, oh.